Tonight in the news, President Tinubu approves an immediate upgrade of health infrastructure across the country as AU names him champion for health. Nigeria's economy is set to expand with $30 billion foreign investment commitments.
We want Nigeria to grow.
Plus, Nigeria's power sector receives additional financial intervention from the European Union for infrastructure developments. This is the network news on the Nigerian Television Authority. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lami Ali. Benny will be on the business bit to bring us details of latest enforcement to protect consumers. You can watch this broadcast live via our website, nta.ng/live, and also on our other social media handles displayed on your screen. Now, President Bola Tinubu has been appointed as the African Union champion for human resources for health and community health delivery partnership against the backdrop of his ambitious, innovative, and people-focused efforts in the sector. State House correspondent Musbao Damwahab now joins us from Addis Ababa to speak more to the theme of the 37th conference. Musbao, how set is the stage and how ready is the Nigerian delegation led by President Bola Tinubu for the summit?
Yes, indeed, the stage is set for African leaders to take on for the 37th summit of heads of state and governments of African Union. The Permanent Representative Committee and Ministerial Committee, who had their sessions earlier, have prepared the ground, and it's time for the heads of state to continue from where those committees stopped. And then, like you rightly pointed out earlier, the theme for the year is around education, and apparently African leaders have come to realize that it's time to take this sector very seriously to bring about the all-round development that they are expecting on the continent. And of course, this is just in tandem with what the Nigerian government has been doing. And like you might have heard from the president, who has consistently said that to fight poverty, education, quality education must be given to Nigerian children. And that exactly was what the Minister of State for Education, Yusuf Sununu, told us when we spoke to him earlier.
You can just see as if it is the 8-point agenda, special focus on education, that AU is adopting for the HCS team, which to us is a great encouragement, and also to say that our president is in thinking in the global and regional directions.
Yes, again, it's already out there. President Bola Tinubu has been appointed by the Committee of African Heads of State and Governments as a champion for health, meaning that they have noticed some of the initiatives that he has started in Nigeria as far as our health sector is concerned. So he will be talking to our session regarding the initiatives that he has taken in the country tomorrow, the first day of the summit of heads of state and government. And we spoke to the Minister of State for Health, Dr. Tunji Alausa, who also alluded to this and some other agenda that Nigeria is putting forward before the summit.
We're talking about how we can scale up diagnostic facility, diagnostic kits in Africa, more so in Nigeria, how we can begin to manufacture our own diagnostic kit, how we can begin to domesticate the use of our pharmaceutical industries in our home country. We're more interested in Nigeria as well. So there's a lot of collaboration going on. This is a summit that is really, from the health sector, there's a lot of things that we set out to achieve from this African Union 37 African Union Summit.
Again, security is another very important issue coming up before the heads of state and government at this summit. As you're aware, some parts of the continent are troubled. Insecurity, terrorism, banditry in some areas, and Nigeria too is having some issues to bring on the table on how to achieve lasting peace and stability on the continent. We spoke to the Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru. Take a listen.
Peace and security of the continent is very, very important at this summit, and Nigeria being faced by terrorism and insurgency will really look at possible areas of collaborations with both AU and member state, and in particular we are discussing with many African countries in building our defense industries so that we can be able to produce high-level defense equipments in Africa and basically in Nigeria also. So it is really very important, and we are looking at ways to see how the AU standby force can improve and can be active so that we can together as Africa work towards lasting peace and the agenda of silencing the guns by 2030.
Well, those are not just the issues that the heads of state and government will be taking a look at. We also have the climate change issue on the table, as well as the African continental free trade area, which the continent has been pushing for. And again, we have the Agenda 2063, and now we've gone past 10 years of that agenda, and it will be time to evaluate the achievement that has been made in the last 10 years and then set another steps to be taken for the next 10 years. So it seems that the president will be actively participating in this summit, and not just as a Nigerian president, but also as the chairman of ECOWAS. And that will be a really, really eventful outing for the president.
Thank you, Ms. Bao, for that update from Addis Ababa. Now, in other news, President Bola Tinubu has approved the immediate upgrade of key health infrastructure and equipments across all 6 geopolitical zones, in line with his administration's vision of overhauling the health and social welfare sector for enhanced service delivery to all Nigerians. Musa Abubakar has details.
The Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, in collaboration with the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, will carry out the comprehensive upgradation of these infrastructure and other critical developments in 6 tertiary hospitals across the geopolitical zones, and full renovation and expansion of prior investment to improve access to high-quality healthcare in all 6 geopolitical zones of the Federation. The teaching hospitals marked for the establishment of oncology and nuclear medicine centers are the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital, University of Nigeria Nsukka Teaching Hospital, Federal Teaching Hospital Katsina, University of Jos Teaching Hospital, Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Expansion projects across the fields of radiology, clinical pathology, and medical and radiation oncology will be carried out in the 10 hospitals across all geopolitical zones. They are Northwest Reference Hospital Kaduna, Southeast Medical Diagnostic Center Complex Enugu, Northwest Usman Danfodio University Teaching Hospital Sokoto, Southwest University College Hospital Ibadan, South-South University of Uyo Teaching Hospital, Northeast Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital Bauchi, South-South Federal Medical Center Asaba, North Central Harmony Advanced Diagnostic Center Complex Ilorin, North Central Jos University Teaching Hospital, and Northeast Federal Medical Center Uguru. These projects are set to be delivered within 12 to 18 months, will improve screening and diagnostics for communicable and non-communicable diseases, and also create employment opportunities.
Now with me in the studio to provide more perspective on the President's directive to the health sector is Professor Ebun Adejuigbe. She is a pediatrician at the Obafemi Awolowo University Teaching Hospital, Ile-Ife. Professor, thank you for joining us on the news.
Thank you. Good evening.
All right. Now, how will this move by the federal government to improve the healthcare facilities across the country impact specifically on healthcare services to the people?
Yes, I believe it's an important step in the right direction. It's coming at the right time as well. If you have a lot of infrastructure and equipment, then people will have more confidence in coming to the hospitals. The health workers have been clamoring for this for a long while to improve the conditions of service, particularly the availability of equipment to work with. Making a diagnosis helps you to know what to do and the treatment and prognosis of diseases. However, there are so many other things that we also need to put in place, which I believe the federal government is already thinking about, particularly the human resource aspects and also the supporting facilities like water and lights, because these are one of the reasons why many of our equipment break down, and also to train people that will be able to maintain this equipment so that we don't, after some time, they go into, or they become obsolete and we don't replace them, or they break down and that's the end of it. So I believe this also brings in a lot of revenue into the health sector, because for where there are no equipment, we send a lot of our patients outside the health facilities to go and do this treatment, and it goes to the private pockets or even outside the country. So I guess for the common man, this will be a step in the right direction. And as well, insurance is important, because out-of-pocket spending, no matter what equipment you have, it will destroy any family or any group. Thank you very much.
All right. This action taken by the federal government is something that those in the health sector have over time clamored for, that is improved facilities and equipment. How do you think will they receive the news, and what will be your advice to state governments and individuals as well on partnering with the federal government at the state levels?
Yes, I think it's a good news, and everybody in the health sector is happy, looking forward to it. It reminds one of the era of varmint, and we hope this will be, there'll be improvements on that. At the sub-national level, I believe that all state governments should also emulate this, because many of the services that need to be provided for health care for the people, it's actually at the level of the primary health care and the secondary health facilities. The tertiary should actually be for just specialist care. So the state government needs to emulate this, and they can partner with private individuals who have a lot of funds to this. They can use that to improve facilities, and some people are doing it already, but we need more of it. And also remember that the health workers should also be well taken care of. If they are happy doing their work, then they can also use the equipment that are available to take care of the people that are surrounding them.
Thank you so much, Professor, for sharing your thoughts with us. Now we move on. Gombe State Government has pledged to provide an enabling environment for businesses to thrive in the state. Governor Inuwa Yahaya stated this while briefing State House correspondents after meeting Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Presidential Villa. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrilla reports.
His reaction was sequel to the emergence of the state as the first among the 36 states of Nigeria in the socio-economic index compiled by an independent organization that provides insight into the socio-economic performance and risk profiles of Nigerian states.
Well, it's no magic, it's no miracle, it's just commitment, hard work and dedication. And over the time, since I became governor, I made sure that I go with a focus, the clear vision, and we consistently monitor the progress vis-a-vis the needs of the people and the mood of the country. So all those things joined together shows your economic development means every aspect of human development, and I'm very happy that at least what the effort we are doing in Gombe is recognized.
The governor also spoke on the issues of inflation and food shortage in the country.
It's throughout the world because of the challenges that the world is facing. But our own has its own peculiarities because of the insecurity that has bedeviled a lot of our states, especially in the northwest and the northeast. But that notwithstanding, we are putting serious effort to ensure that we restore normalcy, we provide security, and the people are back to their farms. So both on the short, medium, and long term, we have our own strategies. Each state has its own, but we work with the federal government in order to ensure that very soon we overcome these challenges.
He commended President Bola Tinubu for the steps taken by engaging governors to address challenges confronting the nation. From the State House, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
Now for some messages, do stay tuned. You're welcome back. Nigeria's economy is set to expand as $30 billion is already being committed by foreign investors. This is from the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Uzoko-Annette, as the Ministerial Press Briefing Series, Salihu Gwanara reports.
For the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, it has been an engaging moment with positive business prospects as the designed government policies are already meeting the desires of both domestic and foreign potential investors.
We started identifying all our industries and putting them in clusters to be able to give them direct intervention that they need to make them more vibrant. So I believe that 2024 is a bountiful year. It's going to be a great year. And we will see all of these initiatives and policies kicking in to reduce the inflation that we are seeing across our value chains.
The future, she assured, is even brighter with plans to create job centers, harmonizing the activities of artisans, achieve national talent program and consumer credit initiative, which are all underway to facilitate double-digit growth of the economy.
Now we are going to start the skilling, reskilling, and upskilling of our youth. We are signing an MOU with the German government to provide us curriculum. That curriculum is an international certification. What that means is that our people, Nigerians, can take a certificate and work anywhere in the world.
Now, she made something which is also very significant, and that has to do with Shell and some of the companies that are leaving. We have been told that Shell is actually remaining in Nigeria. In fact, Shell is expanding its operation in Nigeria, not leaving the country. Because we've had stories that some of these companies are actually leaving. Some of them are only repurposing and others are coming. So much investment is coming. It is important that we report this to the Nigerian public. We don't just report somebody is going. We want Nigeria to grow.
The Ministerial Press Briefing is a platform by the Ministry of Information and National Orientation to bring up to speed activities of the ministries. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
Business News is next with Benny Adams. It's over to you, Benny.
Thank you, Lami. And talking more business, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCP, assures of continuous effort at protecting the rights of consumers. This is as the Commission sealed off a popular supermarket in Abuja for lack of transparency in prices. Olenka Ojo reports that the acting executive vice chairman of the FCCPC, Adamu Abdullahi, says the practice contravenes Section 155, subsection 3 of the FCCPA. He notes that the store's pricing system is misleading and a fine of 100 million naira can be applicable depending on the gravity of the offense.
What we have done today is to make sure that they comply with the law. We called them to come and defend themselves. They refused, failed to show up. In the long run, they sent a lawyer whom we asked, are you familiar with the facts of this case? He said he wasn't. But then specifically, we requested for names. We gave names of people that wanted to come and defend them, that those people refused to come. And these are the people that are really in charge of the till, the IT people that now fix prices on the computer systems, as well as the people that fix the prices on the shelves. So these people refused to come, and therefore we had to act in accordance with the law.
And now taking a look at the global market, talking about oil prices told on Friday over a forecast of a slowing demand by the International Energy Agency after gaining the previous session on weak U.S. retail sales data that sparked optimism that the Federal Reserve might cut interest rates sooner than expected. Brent crude futures were down 53 cents at $82.33 a barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures fell 33 cents to $77.70. Both contracts climbed over 1% on Thursday as a larger than expected drop in U.S. retail sales prompted hopes the Federal Reserve will soon start cutting interest rates, which could be positive for the oil demand. And a quick look at the markets in Nigeria. At the end of the last weekday of trading on the Nigerian exchange, the all-share index appreciated by 1.58%, a total of 342.5 million shares in 8,395 deals, corresponding to a market value of 8.049 billion naira were traded. Compared with the previous trading day, which was Thursday, today's data shows 20% improvement in volume, 16% improvement in turnover, and 3% improvement in deals. The current market capitalization is 57.9 trillion naira. Well, that is business news. Network Deals continues with Lami. Lami, it's nice doing business with you.
Thank you for the update. Now, NTA Nigeria has launched the Making of Champions Season 2 to kickstart a 5-day athletics event which will discover talents and support grassroots sports development in Nigeria. A news conference in Asaba, the Senior Manager Brands, Media and Sponsorship MTN Nigeria, Friday Okube, said the choice of Delta State is informed by its story of success in sports. Ifeoma Okafor was there.
TN Champions Season 2 will hold at the main bowl of the Stephen Keshi Stadium, Asaba. Over 1,000 athletes from 100 schools in various categories will be competing in this sports fiesta. The president of Athletics Federation of Nigeria, Tinubu Okowa, described the event as key to the forthcoming African Youth Games.
We will continue to help in any way we can to encourage them to move forward in their athletics activities. We are very happy that MTN is supporting athletics, because if they support MOC, it's an event for us. It's a national development intervention designed to unearth future Olympic champions for Nigeria who will compete in the world stage. When I was a little boy watching Olympic, you hear Innocent Igbodike, Chidi Imo, you hear Mary Onyale. So these are names that we grew up with. So we want it to continue.
The representative of the Nigeria School Sports Federation and Delta State Coordinator, Justina Ishaka, expressed delight for the platform provided for school children to display their talents.
A letter has gone to all the coordinators across the country to be sure that a good number of schools register and participate in this competition.
The athletes will compete in 100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, high jump, long jump, and relay race. They will also stand a great chance to win scholarships and be trained in the best schools abroad. Ifeoma Okafor, NTA News.
The European Union says it is supporting Nigeria with additional 37 million euros to improve power infrastructure in the country. The intervention covers small hydropower plants, solar for healthcare facilities, rural electrification with isolated and interconnected mini-grids, among others. EU Ambassador to Nigeria says the projects will commence this year. Nigeria's Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, describes European Union's intervention as timely now that the sector is faced with liquidity crisis, which federal government is working to resolving for improved electricity supply nationwide. Now, a federal high court sitting in Abuja has ordered the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice to reopen investigation and prosecution of those who murdered a former journalist, Delegiwa, in 1986. Delegiwa was murdered on October 19, 1986 in his Lagos home through an alleged letter bomb. Delivering judgments in a suit against the AGF, the presiding judge, Justice Inyangeku, held that the chief law officer of the Federation was under obligation to prosecute and penalize killers of media practitioners in the country. Apart from Delegiwa, the court ordered that the killings of other journalists in the discharge of their lawful duties must be investigated and perpetrators be brought to book in line with the provisions of the law. Incorporated trustees of Media Rights Agenda had dragged the office of the AGF to court for the enforcement of fundamental rights of media professionals to safety as guaranteed by the 1999 Constitution and African Charters on Human Rights. Justice Eku in the judgment also ordered the federal government to ensure adequate protection and safety of lives of journalists as enshrined in sections 33, 39 of the Constitution and Articles 4 and 9 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Now, the Nigerian Labour Congress wants the federal government to fully implement agreements entered into in October last year. President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajaero, at the end of the NEC meeting this Friday in Abuja, says it stands on the ratified 14-day ultimatum issued to the federal government, within which to implement the agreements and address other issues of welfare of workers and Nigerians.
If our demands are not met after the nationwide protest, we need to issue a 7-day notice that will expire on the 2nd day of March 2024 to the federal government, after which an indefinite nationwide strike.
The NEC also says it will hold a 2-day nationwide protest on 27th and 28th of February. Now, effective funding of military training is critical to cutting the cost of managing war and internal security operations. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarid Lagbaja, said this as the inauguration of the participants of Course 8 2024 at the Army War College in Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa brings us the details.
A nation that places high premium on funding troops training will spend less in prosecuting its wars.
This brief symbolic ceremony formally inaugurates these 77 military officers participants of Strategic War College Course 8. In view of the dynamism in the nation's emerging security challenges, the course is focusing on military leadership in a volatile and complex operating environment.
The dynamics of contemporary operating environment places premium on operational level leaders with requisite expertise in military decision-making and strategic thinking. Your participation in this course is coming against the backdrop of myriad of security challenges in our dear nation.
To the Chief of Army Staff, a whole of society approach is critical in combating the current security threats.
Beside the military instrument, there must be the presence of the economic power, the intelligence, diplomacy, and so we need the contribution of all stakeholders.
People must take ownership of the fight against all ills in the society, including the banditry, kidnapping, terrorism, and so on.
7 officers from allied nations are among the Course 8. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Still on security, the Nigeria Police Force, in collaboration with the military, other security agencies and private security guards, have arrested 40 suspects and recovered 2 vessels in 2 different locations at the Ogbogoro oil field, Brass, and southern Ijaw local government areas of Bayelsa State. The suspects involved in oil pipeline vandalism and illegal transportation of crude.
The suspects were apprehended and subjected to investigation, having established a prima facie case against them. They will be arraigned in court to face charges related to economic sabotage and oil theft, which have been filed. Similarly, vessels used in illegal activities have been seized as part of the evidence against the suspects. However, preliminary investigations have indicted numerous individuals and companies, including their foreign collaborators, who will in due course be interrogated and caused to face the full wrath of the law.
Francis Form reports that the force enjoins the public to be vigilant and report all suspicious activities relating to oil thefts and economic sabotage to the police. Now, operatives of the FCT Police Command have apprehended Dahiru Adamu, one of the two suspected kidnappers on the run, whom the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike put a 20 million naira bounty on. Commissioner of Police FCT Bennett Igwe presented the suspect and some of his rescued victims exclusively to NTA News. Inotu Yakubu reports.
Dahiru Adamu was tracked down to their camp in the forests along Abuja South, where some victims were still being held captive and awaiting ransom from their family members. His arrest also led to the unveiling of another suspect who contracted his syndicate to kidnap and kill the village head of KT some weeks ago.
We entered the estate 3 times to kidnap and the Ruga also. In all, we made between 8 to 13 million naira.
Before Dahiru Adamu was arrested, the anti-kidnapping squad engaged him and other members of his gang in a shootout to rescue these victims in their custody. They kidnapped us at Garke, where we are rearing cattle. We spent 15 days and they demanded for 10 million naira ransom.
I am grateful to the police for rescuing my brother. May Allah be with them.
Commissioner of Police Bennett Igwe said the command is on a total clampdown to return sanity to FCT.
It cannot still be business as usual. Like I said, after the minister left FCT, you can see what we have done. We are continuing without resting. So I want to tell and ask and request and beg every medical institution, please, if anybody comes with bullet wound, I didn't say you shouldn't treat the person, but contact us. Treat the person, but contact us so that we will confirm if he's among the people that escaped from the bush with a bullet wound.
Dahiru Adamu's arrest brings to 8 the total members of his kidnapping syndicate in police custody so far. Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
Network News continues with Michael in Lagos. Hello, Michael. It's over to you.
Thank you, Lami. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has announced that the much-anticipated Red Line mass transit train will flag off its operations on February 29, stating that effective traffic management and transportation system are critical to achieving the Themes Plus agenda of his administration. The governor disclosed this at the Lagos State Parking Authority Stakeholders Forum held in Lagos. S.A. Wamaka reports.
2021, under Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration, the Lagos State Parking Policy was formulated with the establishment of the Lagos State Parking Authority, LASPA. Its aim is to regulate all forms of parking by adopting innovative, adaptable and sustainable operational system and technologies to ease traffic challenges faced by Lagosians. At the Stakeholders Forum organized by the Lagos State Parking Authority, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says he had approved the on-street parking scheme to regulate and checkmate haphazard parking in line with global best practices.
Lagos has 10 times more vehicular density than any part of the country, has 10 times traffic issues than any part of the country. We need to be nimble, we need to be creative, we need to be able to come up with a policy that both of us will see, both the public users and government can come together and engage and have a solution.
For the General Manager, Lagos State Parking Authority, Adebisi Adelabu, she says parking management is on the center stage in the actualization of meeting the target of traffic management of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration.
So far, we have identified over 20,000 setbacks suitable for parking across the state, and more than 13,000 are already in use, while other works are going on to identify more.
The theme of the occasion, which is Parking in Lagos, the journey so far, assessing the social and economic impact of the sector, had the governor announce the official flag of operations of the Red Line Mass Transit train to be inaugurated by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on February 29. In Lagos, Ese Omamaka, NT News.
Failed sections of the Apapa Ijora Causeway and other federal roads in Lagos will receive urgent attention by the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, as part of measures to ensure hitch-free vehicular movement and boost economic activities in affected areas. Managing Director of FEMA, Emeka Agbasi, gave the hint during inspection of roads rehabilitated by the agency in Lagos. Joe Popola reports.
Determined to sustain the gains of zero potholes and Operation Connect Your Destination, the FEMA boss Emeka Agbasi is in Lagos to ascertain progress of work on ongoing projects. This failed session of the Apapa Ijora Causeway is a narrative FEMA wants to change to decongest the Apapa corridor with the rehabilitation of this road.
This has been identified as a major failure that needs to be tackled, because looking at this, we find out that one lane is virtually closed. So this needs to be tackled immediately. More recently, there have been discussions on using Super Pave, which is a superior performance pavement. So we're constantly looking at the materials that we use, processes we use, and also the technologies that are being used to construct the pavements.
The Water Corporation Drive in Victoria Island was hitherto in a deplorable state and flood-prone. But with the intervention of FEMA, road users are now enjoying hitch-free movement with drainage constructed to finally surmount the challenge of flooding. Beneficiaries assured FEMA that the infrastructure will be protected.
We are very happy and very delighted, and we hope this kind of thing will continue, because without infrastructure like this, there will be no movement of goods and services.
The completion of the 2.5 kilometers Isheri North Road, which will connect Ikorodu and parts of Ogun State, is a huge relief for residents.
We thank them, we appreciate them, then we still pray for them so that God will help them.
They are trying their best, and as Oliver Twist, we still continue to want more.
Other roads rehabilitated include the Agbara Road, especially the critically failed sections around the market area. Nigeria deserves good road, and FEMA says it will ensure this is achieved in year 2024. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
That is it from here. The news will continue after this break. Do stay.
You're welcome back. The quest of the Jigawa state government to make its teeming youth self-employed and productive members of the society is gaining traction with the emergence of a renewable energy firm willing to train youth and provide social services to indigents of Dutse. Shehu Muhammad Dati reports.
The focus of the visiting delegate was on job creation and social services, with emphasis on renewable energy initiatives. Leader of the delegation, David Abubakar, was emphatic on providing training on renewable and sustainable energy generation for communities in Dutse. With the relative peace in Jigawa State, David expressed willingness to bring experts that will train youths on renewable energy mechanism to feel the impact of governance and being self-employed.
Creating a sustainable, because we do multiple things, but creating a sustainable food source. Being able to teach so that the next generation can now build, manage, and take care of those resources themselves.
We understand that there is a particular type of energy crisis here, so we are fully prepared to come and provide a resource that will pretty much almost eliminate the energy crisis.
Concerned by the current economic realities and the need for sustainable development in the energy sector, the monarch expressed the Emirates' willingness to partner with any reputable organization in providing such essential services. Hamim Nuhu Sanusi applauded the delegation and affirmed that renewable energy is a global trend and best shift that can change the narrative.
Any way we can to see that you achieve this so that it can bring employment professional people.
The visitors were taken around the Duse Museum to see the historical monuments of Duse. In Duse, Show Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
Following the postponement of Senegal's presidential election of February 15, 2024, ECOWAS Commission has reaffirmed its call on authorities concerned to set a date for the country's presidential election. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, urges all stakeholders in the electoral process to comply with the decision of the Senegalese Constitutional Council. A statement by the Bloc's Commission urges all stakeholders in the electoral process to also show restraints by prioritizing inclusive dialogue and preserve the ECOWAS model to further sustain the democratic gains enjoyed in member states. The ECOWAS Commission says it will continue to monitor the situation and invites all stakeholders to respect the rule of law to ensure a free, inclusive and transparent election in the country. Time now to take some more messages. The news continues shortly. In a bid to encourage youth in the diaspora in the area of sports, captain of the Nigerian Super Eagles has promised to partner NIDCAM in the establishment of sports academy in the country. The Super Eagles captain, Ahmed Musa, who acknowledges his humble beginning, promised to give back to society by developing sports academy that will be established in parts of the country, including the FCT.
Live outside the country because that is where we always we live to, so definitely we have to represent us well the way we represent our own self over there. So if you are diaspora, you just have to represent yourself, be very proud of Nigeria, and anytime you want to leave, you have to leave a very good legacy where you are.
Man has fulfilled what we've been preaching. How can we mentor the younger ones? How can we make them grow? They see you as role models. What can we all do together to lift our society? You know, you have done this and you're leaving a great legacy. And we hope that others will learn from you.
The NIDCAM boss, Abikadabiri Arewa, said Ahmed Musa earned the Commission's maiden National Diaspora Merit Award in sports category due to his philanthropic gesture and mentoring of the youth. Now, fourth chapter on today's Network News. We thank you for watching. Do have a good weekend.